I'm Josie, and this is my critical reflection on our collaborative experiments. I really enjoyed collaborating with my team members. We have a diverse range of majors within our team, making it easier for us to develop ideas and experiments. We all got along really well and had an amazing dynamic between us. We were always on the same page when it comes to ideas and aligning them with our topics. However, as the weeks went on, I felt as though the contribution was a little uneven and a few people were stuck in their own roles without offering to help out in other areas like researching, writing scripts and brainstorming ideas. I would say my contribution remained consistent throughout the 3 experiments. In the first experiment, I helped brainstorm ideas, assisted with filling out the segment brief, and sourced an interviewee to bring into the studio. My main contribution for experiment 2 included brainstorming, script writing, assisting with the segment brief, organising a green screen image, and co-hosting the segment. In the third experiment, I sourced a lifeguard to interview, wrote a script for the segment, including questions for myself and Sam to ask the interviewee, and hosted the segment. I also scheduled all of our meetings over the course of the 3 experiments. Although our team worked well together, I think we could be better at delivering and completing the segment preparation earlier so that we have more time to rehearse. I feel like a lot of the process is rushed because all of our group members work and study at the same time, and we have minimal days between segments to have a good amount of time for the meetings. A lot of the time we were just fitting into each other's lunch breaks, which can feel rushed and limiting. We also tend to have quick meetings at the end of the day, which aren't always effective as everyone is tired or just trying to finish up work. Now I'm going to move on to the experiments. In the first experiment, our mode was discourse, and we incorporated the SBS Charter using the 2 contrasting lived experiences by interviewing 2 people. One person that had lived in the area her whole life, and one person who had recently moved to the Illawarra from Canberra. This reflects the SBS Charter's focus on diverse backgrounds and perspectives. The purpose of the interview was to compare their experiences and connection to the beaches in the Illawarra area. The feedback we received in the peer reflection task was that it felt quite flat and repetitive. This may have been because the questions we asked both participants were relatively similar and we only used the couch set in the studio. So we took this feedback on for our second experiment. In the second experiment, our mode was participation, and we used 2 scenes, the green screen and the couches, to break it up a bit. It was a game show that featured a range of multiple choice and true or false questions about the beach and the cultural meaning behind the Illawarra area to incorporate the SBS Charter. We asked people from our class to participate to make it more organic and energetic as we captured their raw reactions to the questions. Another thing we did differently in the second experiment was using 2 hosts instead of 1 so that Lily and I could bounce off each other. However, we did notice that the segment felt boring towards the end, and we could have used another scene at the end of the segment so that we weren't asking questions for 10 minutes straight. For the third experiment, we felt our beach theme was too repetitive and we wanted to change our idea. However, due to time constraints and not having anyone new to interview, we had to return to the beach theme. I was able to reach out to Lockie, a local lifeguard, to interview about beach safety and his experience of working as a lifeguard. As a lifeguard, he brings specialised knowledge and lived experience of culture and safety in the Illawarra, which helps represent the community in a more meaningful way. We mainly used the couch setup for the interview and then added the green screen to break up the segment. Using the green screen and his uniform as visual elements made the segment feel more relevant and interesting to watch. Although we have connected each of our segments to the SBS Charter, we have so far mainly relied on interview and trivia questions to incorporate the Charter and the lived experiences of our participants. As we enter the final weeks, we need to include more visual and non-verbal techniques to align with the Charter and create more content that shows rather than just tells. I think we have the potential to produce a well-rehearsed segment as our confidence in the front of the camera grows, especially with the opportunity to rehearse properly in the studio and bring together the strongest elements from our first 3 experiments. It would also be beneficial to refine our topic, as the beach theme currently feels quite surface level, and instead focus on a more specific angle such as mental health, cultural significance or safety to make the final product more meaningful and impactful. Moving forward, I would also like to encourage more equal contribution across the group by clearly dividing roles while still supporting and collaborating across all areas. Completing the peer reflection sheets has been extremely helpful when evaluating our segments from another group's perspective. So we could also explore collaborating with other groups to strengthen our final piece, potentially share ideas, resources, or gain feedback on our work as we develop it. This would allow us to gain new perspectives and improve the quality of our segments. I'm excited to see what is to come for our group in week 13 as we strive towards the best segment yet. Thanks for listening.